now it's time for another preview. Southend United versus Wrexham at the Roots Hall Football Stadium. Southend United struggling for form, especially at home, just picking up 6 points from their last 4 games at home at the Roots Hall Football Stadium. Whereas Wrexham, to be fair, they're not, none the wiser away from home, just picking up 7 points from their last 4 away games, conceding 5 goals. Now, if you are new to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, and tap that bell for more notifications as and when I upload on the video. And we shall move into the first part of the video, which is speaking about where Wrexham are and Southend United are currently in the Vanarama National League standings. So moving into the Vanarama National League table, we have got Wrexham in second on 19 points. The top goal scorers in the league overall with 23 goals and only conceding 8, with 1 game lost, and we all know that was a dire result to Chesterfield away from home. Then we've got Southend United in 14th place, spending their second season in the Vanarama National League, currently on 8 points with a goal difference of -1 and losing 4 games this season so far. So it's not looking good. And on paper, we'd normally have a Wrexham win all over this. You'd maybe talking 4-5-0. But we'll see later on in the video once we have summed everything up. But for now, let's take a look at the top 10 players that are in the Golden Boot race. So moving into the Golden Boot standings, in number 1 and leading the race is Macaulay Langstaff from Notts County on 10 goals. We've got Paul Mullen from Wrexham in second place on 7 goals. In third place is Ollie Palmer from Wrexham on 6 goals. Joint fourth now, we've got Andrew Dallas from Solihull Moors, James McShane from Dorking Wanderers, Joseph Nuttall from Scunthorpe United, and Alex Reid from Solihull Moors, all on 5 goals, which puts joint 8th position Paul Blackett from Gateshead, Reece Brown from Wealdstone, and Adam Campbell from Gateshead, all on 4 goals. Now, enough said on that front. Let's speak about the history between Southend United and Wrexham. So moving on into the club history and the details between Southend United and Wrexham. Wrexham founded in October 1864 and Southend United founded on the 19th of May 1906. The owners for Wrexham are none other than Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney, whereas Southend's owner is Ron Martin. Last season finished, Southend United finished 13th in the Vanarama National League. It was an abysmal season for them, especially being the first season in the National League since being relegated from League 2 the season prior. Whereas Wrexham got a second place finish and bowed out to Grimsby Town in the playoff semi-final at the Racecourse Ground. And just a little bit to note as well, Southend's ground is called the Roots Hall Football Stadium, and the capacity of the ground is 12,492. So yeah, just moving on that front, just a little bit of a club history and the club details, and I hope you do enjoy that little bit of the video. But for now, let's get into the serious bit and let's meet the managers between Southend United and Wrexham. So now it's time to meet the managers for Southend United. We've got Kevin Mayer. I think, was it Phil Brown? He previously had the job. I think it was when Southend were first in the National League last season. Phil Brown previously did have the job. Whereas, this season, they've obviously got Kevin Mayer. Whereas Wrexham are stuck by the man. And he seems more lovable by the minute in Phil Parkinson. Now, let's move on into the next bit of the video where we speak about the head-to-head stats between Southend United and Wrexham. So, moving into the head-to-head stats between Southend United and Wrexham. Wrexham have 3 wins. There has been 2 draws altogether, whereas Southend United have not yet beaten Wrexham. However, the Wrexham wins could have went up to 4 if you include extra time in the Vans Trophy final in 2005. But with the Vans Trophy final being 0-0 in 90 minutes, that's why the result classes as a draw. So that's why it's Wrexham wins 3, 2 draws, and Southend wins 0. Now, enough said on that front of things. Let's go and introduce the hosts in Southend United. So now it's time to introduce the hosts in Southend United, currently 14th in the Vanarama National League. Summer signings being Casper Lapata from Sheffield United. We've got Harry Taylor and Wesley Fonguk from Barnet. We've got Cav Miley from Eastleigh. Chris Reh coming from Banbury United. Dan Mooney coming from Altrincham. Louis Lomas coming from Brackley Town. Gus Scott Morris coming from Hemel Hempstead Town. Jake Hyde coming in on loan from Wrexham. Aaron Cosgrave coming in on loan from Wimbledon. And Marcus Dackers coming in on loan from Salford City. The summer outgoings being John White, Leon Davis and Matt Rush, all going to Braintree Town. Will Atkinson going to Boston United. Josh Coulson going to Kingsland Town. James Dunn and Rob Howard going to Welling United. Ashley Nathaniel George going to Torquay United. We've got Erin Canali going to a time Scott Billy Diaspor. We've got Lewis Gard going to Tunbridge Angels. We've got Terrell Egbury going to Harlow Town. We've got Miles Mitchell Nelson going to Chesham United. Reece Chandler going to Canvey Island. Sam Dolby going the other way to Jake Hyde and actually going on a permanent move to Wrexham. So it'll be interesting to see if he actually starts for Wrexham against Southend at the weekend. And Abu Ogogo, Simeon Akinola and Harry Phillips have all been released. Southend United's one to watch in my eyes is Dan Mooney. And the last result for Southend United being a 3-2 loss to Chesterfield. I do believe it was on Tuesday night where Chesterfield originally had 10 men and come back and beat Southend United. So yeah, I do have a correspondent that has chosen the Southend United lineup, well, predicted lineup that is. So let's see what he has to say, what his lineup is, and who's his one to watch for Southend United versus Wrexham. So the correspondent in question for Southend United predicted lineup is none other than Southend United vlogger Diversity. So make sure you go subscribe to him and check out his Twitter and leave him a follow as well. His links will be down in the description down below. Now he's got his thoughts as well as his one to watches in regards to Southend United versus Wrexham, and he's also left a predicted lineup for us today. So I just want to say a massive thank you for that. But I'll read out what he said to me in a message on Twitter. He goes out to say, coming into this season, most Southend fans predicted /1 to the higher finish than last season, which was a respectable 13th after previous relegations and managers coming and going on a frequent basis. We now have steadied the ship and have what I would say is a great management trio along with a strong back team to support. The squad is young, hungry and want to prove themselves, having signed a lot from lower leagues. A one to watch will be recent loanee Marcus Dackers from Salford City, only with us for a month but already causing trouble for opposition defences with a 6'7" frame, along with top scorer Callum Powell, who will give us all during the game. Now he has predicted a 5-2-3 formation with Endy in goal. It's a back five, but we'll announce the 3 centre-backs first, and Hobson, Lapata and Kensdale. He's got right wing-back Scott Morris and left wing-back Ralph, with Miley and Hussin as the centre midfield, with Dan Mooney on the right, Callum Powell on the left and Marcus Dackers up front. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments section down below. But for now, let's move on into introducing the away side in Wrexham. So now it's time to introduce the away team in Wrexham. Currently second in the Vanarama National League. Summer signings being Elliot Lee, Mark Howard, Jordan Tunnicliffe, Anthony Ford, Sam Dolby, Jacob Mendy, Rory Watson, and coming in from the academy being Kai Evans. Summer outgoings being Sean Brisley to Buxton, Quain Thomas to Sutton United, David Shapaniak going to Flint Town, Dan Jarvis going to Gateshead, Jordan Ponticelli going to Kingsland Town, Dior Angus going to Harrogate Town, Tyler French going to Dundee FC, and Jake Hyde also going out on loan to Southend United. Being released as Lee Camp, David Jones, Cameron Green and Devontae Redmond. Last result being a 4-1 win versus Dagenham and Redbridge, and the one to watch being my absolute goat, who nearly got me a tattoo, in Jacob Mendy. But yeah, there is a correspondence, as we all know of, and for those who are new to the channel, the correspondence being RobRyanRed and Tomi Caws. So let's see what we all have to say. Do we have the same lineup as Dagenham and Redbridge? Do we have a different lineup? What's the situation in this predicted lineup? But for now, that's something we are going to go into, is the predicted Wrexham lineup to face Southend United. So moving on into the predicted Wrexham lineup, and the reason why you see my logo, Tomi Caws' @ and RobRyanRed's logo, is because we have all predicted the same lineup for the second game in a row. However, my one to watch is Jacob Mendy, RobRyanRed's one to watch is Callum Powell, and Tomi Caws' one to watch is Anthony Ford. But the team we have gone with is this: Mark Howard in goal. We've got a back three of Adam Hayden, Ben Tozer, Max Cleworth. Right wing back Anthony Ford, left wing back Jacob Mendy, which leaves James Jones and Luke Young in the centre midfield. Playing in that attacking midfield position, the number 10 role, we have got Jordan Davis. And up front, we have got the two main men, Paul Mullen and Ollie Palmer. Now for me, moving into this, which will reflect on the scoreline prediction, is because Wrexham's away form is not brilliant. Now, if they can replicate what they did against Dorking, is Southend going to be a problem for Wrexham? Not really, because the way they're playing at the moment, they're free-flowing, they're fluent, they're passing it around, they're moving the ball, and do you know what? It's hard to change the predicted lineup because of the way they're playing at the moment. But yeah, enough said on that front. Let's move on into my score prediction between Southend United and Wrexham. So moving on into my score prediction on screen, as you can see, I've got Southend United 1, Wrexham 2. Now, the reason why I've gone for this is I just think it's going to be a much closer game than what everyone thinks. You know, Wrexham's away form, apart from Dorking, has not been brilliant. I mean, if you look at the results apart from Dorking, you know, Woking had to scrape a win. You know, I think it took the substitution from Elliot Lee to come on and start dictating the game. Yeovil Town was a 1-1 draw, yet fair enough. Yeovil Town scored an absolute thundercunt of a goal, but they done it. Chesterfield, we don't talk about, is a dire result, and the midfield was poor. Wrexham on that day were poor. I mean, Southend's form in general is not brilliant, so I think in this case, it's going to be a much closer game than what everyone thinks. But hopefully, Wrexham do prove me wrong and just play the way they did against Dagenham and Redbridge, and obviously Dorking away. Now, goal scorers for Wrexham, I'm going to go for Ollie Palmer and Jacob Mendy. Whereas for Southend United, I am going to go for Dan Mooney. And the reason why I'm going to go for Dan Mooney is, although he's not playing too brilliantly for Southend right now, I just feel like he will hit the ground running and replicate what he did at Altrincham very soon. And I feel like if he's going to do it, no other way to do it than facing Wrexham. But if Wrexham were to score 4 or 5, I'd love to see Sam Dolby get on the sheet. Also a big question mark to whether Jake Hyde will be playing against Wrexham, obviously due to the fact he's on loan at Southend as well. But yeah, that's my score prediction. Southend United 1, Wrexham 2. So let's get on into the final piece of this match preview. So moving on into the final piece of the preview, and it's just that I want to say a massive thank you to everybody who's watched this match preview so far. If you have enjoyed all the previews, just make sure you like, subscribe, tap that bell for more notifications as and when I do upload. And let me know in the comments section down below, what would your predicted Southend United lineup be? And what would your predicted Wrexham lineup be? As well as the scoreline prediction as well. And if you want to include goal scorers, make sure you feel free to include goal scorers. But yeah, hopefully everybody has safe travels, as well as Southend and Wrexham fans getting down to the Roots Hall Football Stadium. And hopefully it's a good day out for us all, you know. I mean, I can't really say much for Southend fans, but I hope you have a good day out as much as you possibly can. Same for Wrexham, and hopefully it's a good game to enjoy. But yeah, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, tap that bell for more notifications, as we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. And I shall see you guys tomorrow at the Roots Hall Football Stadium.